Welcome back to Retro Rides Garage, where we explore the boldest and most bonkers machines ever built. Today, we're diving into 15 of the wildest car engines the automotive world has ever seen. Creations so outrageous, even the engineers behind them called them insane. These aren't just high-horsepower beasts. They're engineering experiments gone full throttle. From rotary rockets that scream to the red line, to turbine-powered monsters straight out of a jet hangar, and V16 and Wankel-powered legends that shattered expectations. This list is packed with mechanical madness. Some were genius, others were disasters, but all of them left a mark on car history. So if you're into radical builds, forgotten prototypes, and the kind of engines that make gearheads grin and purists panic, hit that subscribe button, drop a like, and buckle up, because this is going to be one wild ride through the most insane engines ever made. Let's kick it off with number 15. Number 15, the Rolls-Royce L410V 86.75-liter engine was the quiet powerhouse behind the elegance of the Rolls-Royce Silver Shadow, perfectly embodying the brand's ethos of effortlessness. Introduced in 1965, this all-aluminum V8 was engineered for smooth torque rather than high revving performance, with peak power delivered low in the rev range to ensure silent, seamless acceleration. Though Rolls-Royce famously never published exact horsepower, figures stating only that power was adequate, the L410 was more than capable of moving the heavy Silver Shadow with grace, thanks to its refined design and hydraulic self-leveling suspension system. Paired with GM-sourced automatic gearboxes and tuned for silence, it provided a ride experience akin to gliding on air. In the Silver Shadow, the L410 wasn't just an engine. It was the silent force that redefined what luxury motoring could feel like. Isn't it remarkable how pure refinement once carried more prestige than raw numbers? Number 14. The Cadillac 500 V8, introduced in 1970, was the largest production V8 ever fitted in a passenger car, and it was tailor-made for the Cadillac Series 75 Fleetwood limousine. With a massive 8.2-liter displacement, this engine produced over 400 pound-feet of torque, delivering the kind of low-end grunt needed to move the nearly 3-ton limousine with quiet authority. While horsepower figures varied with emission standards, the 500 always prioritized smoothness and reliability over raw performance, making it ideal for chauffeuring executives and dignitaries in supreme comfort. Paired with a turbo-hydromatic transmission and Cadillac's plush suspension tuning, the 500 V8 turned the Series 75 into a rolling sanctuary. In this limo, the engine wasn't about speed, it was about effortless motion and presence. Isn't it impressive how sheer displacement once defined luxury without saying a word? Number 13. The Cadillac 429 V8, introduced in 1964, was a smooth, torquey powerhouse that helped define Cadillac's performance luxury in the 1960s, especially in the striking Cadillac Eldorado. Displacing 7.0 liters, the 429 delivered up to 340 horsepower and over 480 pound-feet of torque, offering strong yet refined acceleration with almost no drama. In the Eldorado, the 429 provided effortless cruising power, perfectly matched to the car's bold styling and luxurious ride. Whether gliding down the highway or idling at the curb, this engine gave the front-wheel drive Eldorado a unique combination of presence and performance. Paired with a turbo-hydromatic transmission, it made the big coupe feel lighter than its size suggested. Isn't it something how Cadillac once blended brute strength and elegant comfort so seamlessly under one hood? Number 12. The Pontiac 400 V8 with a W72 performance package was the last true muscle-era engine Pontiac offered, and in the 1979 Trans Am 25th Anniversary Edition, it stood as a proud final roar. Displacing 6.6 liters, the W72 featured higher compression heads, a hotter camshaft, and a tuned quadrajet carburetor, producing around 220 horsepower impressive during an era strangled by emissions. Only available with a 4-speed manual, the W72 brought real performance to the iconic Firebird, giving the Trans Am genuine muscle beneath its shaker hood. Backed by the WS6 suspension package, wider wheels and disc brakes, this wasn't just a showpiece. It handled as well as it hustled. In a time when muscle was fading, the W72 kept Pontiac's fire alive a little longer. Isn't it amazing how one engine package helped the Trans Am end the decade with its head held high? Number 11. The Cadillac 390 V8 was the refined heart of Cadillac's luxury performance in the late 1950s and early 1960s, and it brought smooth, confident power to the elegant Cadillac Coupe de Ville. Displacing 6.4 liters, the 390 produced up to 325 horsepower and over 430 pound-feet of torque, delivering quiet, effortless acceleration worthy of Cadillac's flagship coupe. Paired with the Hydra-matic automatic transmission, it provided a silky driving experience that made cruising feel like gliding. In the long, tail-fin-adorned Coupe de Ville, the 390 V8 wasn't just about moving the car, it was about doing so with grace, presence, and unmistakable American style. Isn't it remarkable how Cadillac once made performance feel so luxurious and effortless all at once? Number 10. The Mercedes M100 V8, a 6.3-liter marvel, was an audacious leap from Mercedes-Benz, an engine born from the high-performance 300 SEL 6.3 and later perfected for the ultra-luxurious Mercedes-Benz 600, hand-assembled and precision-engineered. The M100 produced 250 horsepower and over 370 pound-feet of torque, giving the massive 600 limousine startling performance for its size. This was no ordinary V8. It featured dry sump lubrication, sodium-filled valves, and mechanical fuel injection, delivering seamless acceleration and bulletproof reliability even under the demands of royalty, dictators, and celebrities. In the US 600, often referred to as the grosser Mercedes, the M100 didn't just move a car, it powered a statement. Despite the car's weight nearing 3 tons, the V8 delivered a near-silent surge that made chauffeurs irrelevant in speed limits. Optional. Combined with a complex hydraulic system that powered everything from the windows to the trunk, the 600 was less a car and more a machine of absolute authority. The M100 V8 was the quiet titan at the heart of it all, proving that true luxury could also dominate the Autobahn. Isn't it incredible how Mercedes built a limousine that moved like a sports car and ruled like a monarch? Number 9. The Ford 460 V8 was the muscle behind Ford's luxury ambitions in the 1970s, and in the Lincoln Continental Mark IV, it provided the smooth, commanding power needed to move one of the most opulent personal luxury coupes ever built. Displacing 7.5 liters, the 460 delivered around 220 horsepower and over 350 pound-feet of torque in its mid-70s emissions-regulated form, prioritizing low-end grunt and quiet cruising over outright speed. In the Mark IV, a car known for its long hood, formal roofline, and signature opera windows, the 460 was essential in delivering the kind of effortless highway performance Lincoln buyers expected. Paired with the C6 3-speed automatic transmission, the engine offered a velvety ride with barely a whisper, allowing the massive coupe to glide over miles of pavement like a rolling living room. While the 460 wasn't a high-revving performance engine, it was perfectly suited for the Mark IV's mission: serene, confident travel and maximum comfort. More than just an engine, it was a key part of Lincoln's answer to Cadillac's dominance. Doesn't it speak volumes that even in the Age of growing regulations. Ford still built a V8 that could move a luxury land yacht with such grace? Number 8. The Ford modular 4.6-liter SOHC V8 marked a pivotal shift toward modern engine architecture for Ford, and it became the mechanical backbone of the Ford Crown Victoria for over 2 decades. Introduced in the early 1990s, this all-aluminum overhead cam V8 replaced the aging Windsor small blocks with a smoother, more refined design focused on longevity, ease of maintenance, and solid everyday performance. In the Crown Victoria, especially in its police interceptor and civilian LX trims, the 4.6 produced between 200 to 230 horsepower and around 265 pound-feet of torque, enough to move the full-size sedan with quiet confidence. What it lacked in raw muscle, it made up for in bulletproof reliability, smooth power delivery, and compatibility with the rugged Panther platform's rear-wheel drive layout. In taxi fleets, police departments, and countless American driveways, this engine earned a reputation for going the distance, often surpassing 300,000 miles with basic upkeep. In the Crown Victoria, the 4.6 wasn't about excitement. It was about consistency, comfort, and unshakable dependability. Isn't it remarkable how one modest V8 came to define the durability and legacy of an entire era of American sedans? Number 7. The Chrysler 426 HEMIV was nothing short of a legend, an engine forged in racing and refined for the street. And in the Dodge Challenger RT, it turned an already aggressive muscle car into a fire-breathing icon. Nicknamed the Elephant for its massive size and brutal power, the 7.0-liter Hemi was rated at 425 horsepower and a thundering 490 pound-feet of torque, though actual output was often higher. Its hemispherical combustion chambers allowed for superior airflow and high compression, giving it explosive acceleration and a roaring, unmistakable soundtrack. When dropped into the Challenger RT in 1970, the Hemi made Dodge's pony car a true street weapon capable of sub-13-second quarter-mile times right off the showroom floor. Paired with either a heavy-duty TorqueFlite automatic or a pistol grip 4-speed manual, it demanded respect at every stoplight and drag strip. The combination of bold styling, raw performance, and that fearsome Hemi made the Challenger RT more than just a competitor. It made it a cultural statement. Isn't it wild to think that one engine could turn a muscle car into a myth that still echoes through garages and racetracks today? Number 6. The Ford 429 Cobra Jet V8 was built for brute strength and big speed thrills. And in the Ford Gran Torino, it transformed a mid-size muscle machine into a true street brawler. Displacing 7.0 liters, the 429 Cobra Jet was factory rated at 370 horsepower and a crushing 450 pound-feet of torque, with high-flow heads, a performance camshaft, and a Rochester Quadrajet carburetor feeding the beast. Though it was born from Ford's racing heritage, the Cobra Jet was surprisingly streetable, making it a perfect match for the Gran Torino, a car that balanced muscle swagger with everyday usability. In models like the 1971 Torino GT, the 429, CJ gave the coupe a serious performance edge, especially when paired with the optional 4-speed manual and traction-lock rear differential. Despite its size and comfort-oriented design, the Gran Torino became a fearsome performer in the hands of the right driver, capable of intimidating stoplight showdowns and backroad sprints alike. The 429 Cobra Jet didn't just power the Gran Torino, it gave it attitude, identity, and a place in muscle car lore. Isn't it something how a single engine could take a family-sized Ford and turn it into a pavement-pounding legend? Number 5. The Chrysler LA 360 V8 was a workhorse engine with just enough muscle to bring full-size cars like the Dodge Monaco to life with confidence and durability. Introduced in the early 1970s as part of Chrysler's lightweight LA engine family, the 360 cubic inch or 5.9-liter V8 struck a balance between economy and performance. In the Dodge Monaco, especially during its mid to late 1970s run, the 360 offered respectable output in the range of 170 to 200 horsepower, depending on the year and emissions equipment, with solid torque delivery that made it well suited for highway cruising and urban duty alike. While not a fire-breathing muscle engine, it was known for its reliability, smooth power curve, and ease of maintenance qualities that mattered in a car often used by families, fleets, and even police departments. In the Monaco, the 360 V8 provided enough grunt to move the big sedan's weight with authority, without sacrificing fuel economy as severely as larger V8 South. It may not have made headlines like the big blocks, but it delivered where it counted, quietly earning its reputation as a dependable backbone of Chrysler's lineup. Isn't it interesting how the unsung engines often kept the wheels of American motoring turning the longest? Number 3. The Ford Flathead V8 255 cubic inch engine was a cornerstone of early American performance, and in the Mercury 8, it gave the rising mid-tier brand its own distinctive blend of power and refinement. Introduced in the late 1930s and refined through the 1940s, the 255 Flathead was the larger sibling of Ford's original 221 and 239 V8 South, offering up to 110 horsepower and a healthy torque curve that made it ideal for smooth, confident cruising. In the Mercury 8, especially the iconic 1949 to 1951 models, this engine delivered not just mobility, but character. Its lopey idle, distinctive exhaust note, and easy torque made it a favorite for both daily drivers and customizers alike. The 255's simple, side-valve design was durable and easy to work on, which helped cement the Mercury 8 as a go-to platform for hot rodders and lead sled builders in the post-war years. More than just an engine, the Flathead V8 aided Mercury its performance identity, slotting it above Ford in prestige while still retaining accessibility. In the Mercury 8, the 255 Flathead wasn't about speed records. It was about style, cruising power, and a new sense of American freedom. Isn't it wild how one humble V8 helped launch a whole new culture of customization and cool? Number 4. The Ford Fay 390 V8 was one of the original big block bruisers of the muscle car era, and when dropped into the Mustang GT 390 Fastback, it gave Ford's pony car the brawn to match its bold attitude. Displacing 6.4 liters, the 390 delivered up to 320 horsepower and over 430 pound-feet of torque, with a deep, throaty exhaust note that hinted at its true muscle, though not as exotic as the later 428. Cobra Jet, the 390, was a major performance upgrade over the standard small blocks and gave the Mustang real presence both on the street and the track. In the 1967 and 1968 GT Fastbacks, the 390 turned the Mustang from a sporty coupe into a legitimate muscle machine, strong off the line, confident in the corners, and visually aggressive with dual exhausts and GT badging. It's no coincidence that the 390 Fastback gained pop culture immortality as Steve McQueen's ride in Bullitt. The engine's raw torque and burly soundtrack perfectly matched the film's gritty realism. The FE 390 may have been outshined later by bigger engines, but in the Mustang GT Fastback, it struck the perfect balance of speed, style, and street cred. Isn't it amazing how one engine helped take the Mustang from cool to iconic? Number 2. The Buick Fireball Straight 8 was a smooth-running powerhouse that defined Buick's reputation for quiet strength. And in the Buick Roadmaster, it delivered the kind of graceful performance that matched the car's upscale image. Spanning from the 1930s into the early 1950s, the Fireball was a long inline 8-cylinder engine with displacements ranging from 4.1 to 5.2 liters, and horsepower steadily rising to around 150 by the time the Roadmaster was in its post-war prime. Its signature feature was torque plentiful and delivered low in the rev range, making the Roadmaster an ideal highway cruiser in an era before freeways were common. The Fireball's compound carburation and overhead valve design gave it a technological edge over flathead rivals, resulting in a refined, whisper-quiet drive that set Buick apart from its GM siblings. In the big, flowing Roadmaster, especially the celebrated 1949 model with its toothy chrome grille and sleek fastback lines, the straight 8 didn't shout. It hummed. The combination of elegant styling and the Fireball's smooth power delivery made the Roadmaster a favorite among executives, celebrities, and anyone who wanted Cadillac comfort without Cadillac flash. Isn't it remarkable how an inline 8 could carry a luxury legend with such effortless grace? Number 1. The Chrysler RB 440 Magnum was one of Mopar's most formidable big block V8 South, and when stuffed under the hood of the Plymouth Satellite, it gave this mid-size cruiser a serious muscle car alter ego. Displacing 7.2 liters, the 440 Magnum produced 375 horsepower and a staggering 480 pound-feet of torque in its prime, thanks to high-flow heads, a performance camshaft, and a big 4-barrel carburetor. Though it shared architecture with Chrysler's other RB engines, the Magnum variant was built for power and street dominance, offering smooth yet brutal acceleration that could turn a mild-mannered Satellite into a stoplight terror. When paired with either the tough Torque Flight automatic or the optional 4-speed manual, the 440 gave the Satellite a Jekyll and Hyde personality. Family-friendly, comfort during the week, and tire-shredding potential on the weekends. While the Roadrunner and GTX often stole the spotlight, a 440-powered Satellite flew under the radar, offering nearly identical performance with a more understated appearance. The RB 440 Magnum didn't just move the Satellite, it gave it purpose, presence, and a growl that echoed Mopar's muscle legacy. Isn't it amazing how raw displacement could turn a commuter car into a legend in disguise?